Welcome everyone. Hey, it's your boy Jared Sissel, and I'm back again for the Battle Royale Live Sports Show. Hey, it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Hey, it's college football, and who better than to help me talk about college sports than the wonderful Miss CeCe. Hello, CeCe. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. It's me.
So we're back, second episode, live and living color. You know how we do it. So, CeCe, how was your homecoming weekend this weekend? How was TSU's homecoming?
It was amazing. Let's go Big Blue. We won, and of course we don't lose homecoming. So great seeing everybody, great culture, great vibes, had a great time. Um, it's an amazing experience. If you haven't been to TSU homecoming, I recommend it to everybody. One big happy family.
All right. So I see you threw a little shade when you say y'all won y'all homecoming. Is there any particular schools that lost their homecoming this year?
I mean, I heard, deep down in the valley, I heard Jackson State might have lost their homecoming to Alabama State. What I'm saying? I heard that Alabama State had a little revenge coming back since, Jackson State beat them on their homecoming. So, like, the tables kind of turned. One thing about them tables, they always turn.
Yeah, they definitely can do that. There's a not a homecoming, but a big classic coming up next weekend. The Magic City Classic, isn't it?
Yes, I might need to come, pull up to the city and see what. I ain't been to the Magic City Classic in maybe like almost 20 years.
Birmingham, we might be getting a CC return for the Magic City Classic. I don't know.
I
Hey,
don't
Spence, hey, I
know.
might have to step on now too. She
You
step out
know,
now. I ain't no
it's about
telling.
20 years since I've seen the classic, so I might have to make a guest appearance.
Hey, man, definitely do that. Definitely do that. Well, we're gonna go ahead and kick this show off. And what better way than to talk about Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffalo or Colorado. What better way to start the show to talk about Colorado? Well, as you see, they took a loss this weekend. What was your regards on that debacle of a football game by Coach Prime in Colorado?
Yeah. I mean, they were leading, what, 24-29-0 at halftime?
Yep,
Yeah,
it was
to zero, right? So,
zero.
like, to give up that amount of points in the second half of a game is like unacceptable, right? Like, that is not
Yeah,
on the team.
it was 29-0.
Yeah, 29-0 at halftime now. Like, mind you, they haven't put a point on the board in the first two quarters. You let them score all 46
Right.
points. It was two overtimes, but still, they scored 40 something points. I think they had to get to 43 to even tie the game before the end of the game. So you
They
gave you
no,
gave
I'm
up
about to say they scored 36 points.
you gave up 36 points in two quarters, which like.
Yep. That
And then also, that means you weren't
that
scoring
is
enough.
unacceptable.
You also weren't scoring enough on your end. So you're not scoring enough. You're not keeping the drives going. You're
Yeah,
not
because they
running the
only got
ball.
7 points.
They only scored
They
seven
only
points.
got 7 points in the third and the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So like they they just gotta, what I'm saying? Like at that point you gotta learn how to run the ball. Take more time off the clock. Also get stops on defense throughout the whole game. Thing is, I feel like him and USC kind of played that same method of don't bend, don't break, in
Right.
the second half. And that don't work when you already have a defense that's not great.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
their
know what I'm saying?
defense.
Like, don't give up these big old yards and these big old plays because you're gonna switch the momentum, and then you're asking your defense at that point to be able to step up after you don't play like let's play light, and just throwing the ball away, throwing too many passes in the second half. You need to run the ball. You have got to start running the ball. Like I understand Shador and his talents, but get
And,
that
it, and
back
if
going.
you're not running the ball, then you should be doing effective passing routes, high completion pass plays that keeps the clock running. But then that goes to game management. Like that OC and that quarterback should have managed that game. If you're going to put the ball in his hands, you must find a way to manage the game, But that loss right there, I had them winning 8 games this season. That was one of the games I was
I
counting.
told you
So
I had them at 6. Right now they only what at 4.
yeah, they only
Uh,
have 4 right now,
I don't even
and
got to. I don't even know if they're gonna get the last 2 that I said they were gonna get to 6. Because I mean,
they, they got
3
some
of their
ranked teams coming up.
yeah, they got 3, 4 ranked teams out of the last 5 games. Majority of those games are ranked. Um, so unless we got some
This
upsets
weekend with
coming,
them playing UCLA.
I don't
And
see no
their
upsets
upset was week
coming.
1.
Yeah,
I don't think they're up. I don't think they got no more upsets left in them. Not the way that defense is playing.
yeah,
And I'm telling you, I praise the kid Travis Hunter, but he's gonna have to pick one side. Him and Dion's gonna have to figure out what side they need him at the most. But that's the side he's gonna have to play. That going back and forth both ways, I don't think that's what's healthy for the young man. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
it shows because yeah, he got 100 and some yards receiving, touchdown, and XYZ. But he gave up the exact same thing on defense. So everything he did was X'd out.
Yeah, like and just listening to some of the things and the concerns from the NFL is they want to see him pick a side.
Yeah.
And whether it be defense or offense, where they feel like however he feel like he's strongest, they want to see him pick a side. Also, because if you're an NFL coach, GM, president, whatever your job is, and you're like looking at talent in the draft, I need to know exactly what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
oh, because you're not gonna play both sides of the ball in the NFL. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do that. Also, like, is your body at this point? Am I getting somebody that's one injury away?
Sound like somebody normal.
Am I like one
Yeah.
injury away from like
And the big,
ankle tears, ACLs? Like, your body can only endure so much. So taking 100 plays and doing all that stuff on your body, like, no, I need him to pick a side. Pick a side.
and to piggyback off of what you're saying, like you said, you're not going to play both sides of the ball in the pros. Now, it's a talent to be able to play both sides. So if you play offense, we might be playing against a real good wide receiver, and I need you a couple plays. Cool. Or if you play defense, hey, we need to use you as a decoy for a couple plays. Cool. Or hey, you rest up. Let's get this deep ball real quick. That's understandable because even though Dion played both ways in college, he wasn't like he was playing the whole game both ways. And times and change. Players is a lot stronger, a lot quicker now. So you're getting injured is at a higher level than it was back then. And then when it all boils down, like you said, NFL owners, GMs, they want to see what that one side of the ball they're about to draft you for. So, hey, take this time. You're only you're only a sophomore. Take this time to learn a position, learn the techniques, the fundamentals of that position on to the next level and get prepared for the next level. Because like Marvin Harrison ain't out here trying to play wide receiver DB. We know he's a phenomenal athlete, but he's sticking to one position,
And
learning.
who did they attack on that last play before they got when they needed that last touchdown to go into overtime? Who did they
Travis
attack?
Hunter. Travis
Travis
Hunter.
Hunter.
You
Because
know?
I mean, shoot, it's only so much you can do when you've been playing
Yeah.
100 some snaps. Like, yeah, I'm gonna start. Teams gonna start attacking that side of the ball, especially when you're on defense. I know you just came off the field on offense. You might give me one time, but the next time you eventually gonna get burnt out trying to do both. So
Eventually.
like, I'm gonna keep tagging you, and come the third and fourth quarter, like it did this time, you're gonna give up
Now,
2 or 3 touchdowns.
now for our next topic, it's crazy because two of the top five players, two of the players on that Colorado team sit in the top five for this conversation. NILs. Let's talk about some money, y'all. We're gonna chop it up and talk about some money. Is it good or is it bad? And me personally, I'm all for players getting paid. Well, no, let's rephrase that. I'm all for everyone being allowed for players to get paid. Because in the past, it's only certain schools that was actually paying players. Alabama, but they was paying
pay
players
no
while
kids
it
from
wasn't fair
them.
for other schools to pay players. So I think that it's now fair. Well, I agree that it's fair for every school to be allowed to pay players. But
So
from there,
the school isn't paying the players. It's the
it's the boosters.
endorsement. It's the
It's
endorsements
the
around the
boosters.
schools and stuff. But like I'll say this, look, I think that
In the
I don't.
past, it was not currently it's the endorsements and stuff, but in the past it was them boosters. It was
Yeah.
them people that had
So
graduated from that school, and they, even though it was really the school, but it was the men that graduated.
yeah, but I think just overall, I do think that it has to have some type of boundaries with the NIL, because also there are some people out here taking advantage of these kids signing these NIL deals that you're not even
Right.
realizing that they're trying to own your first paycheck from the NFL.
Yep.
So like I feel like the NCAA needs to kind of step in because these young men are fresh out of high school, 18 years old, 19 years old. And it's grown men that don't understand signing certain contracts and all that stuff. So I do
Right.
think they need to add. I like the NIL. Only bad thing I will say is that there are vultures out there, and
Yep.
these kids are still kids, and they're not. Their parents don't have a complete understanding. Everybody does. It's like the wild wild west over here, out here
It
with
is.
NIL deals. Like it has to be to the point where we're also not. Yeah, NIL deals exist now, and things can happen. You don't necessarily have to go to an Alabama team because you can get more money from a California team because there's more money in Cali. But you have to kind of figure out some type of balance, some type of thing. So one, like I said, it's not still the wild wild west. And these kids, there was a athlete that just was in the NFL. He signed his rookie contract, and he had to go get a lawyer to get out of an NIL deal that had promised his first whole bonus check to, like, the way it was structured. He was going to pay his whole bonus check to this person he signed an
That's
NIL
just like
deal.
the kid from Florida. He got what, $500,000. He signed a $500,000 deal, and basically his whole first check from the pros is going to that endorsement.
Yeah,
And like to piggyback again off of what you said, there needs to be a level of protection for these players. It needs to be just like they do registration at the schools, and
yeah.
you go through orientation. There need to be required while you're a senior in high school, and part two when you're before you enroll in school. If you're going to play athletics, you need to you and your parent must
Or
complete.
I think like to some degree, like it has to kind of be still regulated with the NCAA. I don't know if it's like a registration, like, hey, you need to register your business or whatever it is, or just have it. They gotta figure something out. Like have it stamped
They
with
need more
school.
protection
Yeah,
because
the
when you
NCAA gonna have to like do their job.
fresh out of
Like
high school, and just like what is that progressive commercial when the old man had got the dollar bill and you got to catch it. You're
yeah,
dangling money in front of these parents, in front of these players, and so when it all boils down, it's like they're going to take it. They want to take it. They need it. They need
they
it.
deserve
That's
the
the whole
money.
reason
Yeah.
why they're playing the sport anyway. So I feel like I agree though. The players should be able to profit off of their name. It just do it the right way that it can protect you in the long run, and do it the right
There's
way to
some
where
vultures
if you
out
do
there.
get injured, Is an insurance policy in place. And these companies, since they're getting paid off of your name anyway, in the case you do get injured, there's a compensation for you. But because some of these boys out here making some bread. Because
Yeah, and they're
Prize
making
Boy sitting at number one, and
yeah,
Shador, and that's Shador, but Travis Hunter sitting at three, and then Archie's boy, that boy ain't even played the game yet, and he's number two.
yeah, and like I said, I want them to make their money. Like they deserve it. They're doing great in their the athletic programs. And the higher the athlete is, sometimes the easier it is not to get rolled up into vultures. But you gotta realize that everybody's not Shador, everybody's not Travis Hunter, everybody doesn't have a daddy named Deion Sanders or a daddy, our the Mannings and all that stuff. So like, it's gonna be a need to make sure that they have some regulation for these middle grade players that are getting some of these endorsements and some of these NIL deals that are bad. Then we lost our other host.
Oh, I'm right here. I'm just trying to dibble and dabble on this computer at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, so long story short, NILs, we are all for you. Let's just find a way to protect these boys. Let's find a way to give these parents and kids knowledge. And high school, you know what I mean? Because y'all making money off these kids too, especially those
yeah,
athletes, because y'all are getting so much attention. And then you're letting these kids co-op and get out of school early, and then they got that PE period. Yes, let's utilize that time and get advocate or get someone in there to feed knowledge to
yeah,
these kids. And also here in Birmingham, if you are going through any of that phases, get with Coach L with step by step. He has someone that is actually a, a lawyer, but let alone a lawyer, this is what they do. This is their job. This is their whole purpose, to help young men and women as they get ready to step out in the world and come across some money like that. And they get you prepared for what's going to come your way. So, hey, Coach L, step by step fitness, he definitely, well, step by step sports training, he definitely can point you in the right direction. So, from there, I'm going to take a quick pause for the cause. Big, quick pause for the cause. Because I want to send a special shout out. If you got to watch my show Friday night, every Friday night, we're going to be live talking to the high school players right after the games. But one of the players that this is well deserved, the work that you put in, the grind that you put in, the whole shebang. So Jordan Crawford, I definitely want to give you a big shout out and congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck. But stay focused because we still got to finish this junior year. I got to finish strong, and then your senior year coming up. So definitely stay healthy, but keep on eating, big man. All right, now we're back to the regular broadcast. Let's see our next topic up for two. Oh, sorry, but you stay on for this one, CeCe. While we're talking about Alabama kids, while we're talking about kids from Birmingham, because this young man here is actually doing it as we speak on the college level, and he is no other than Tulane's starting running back, Mr. Mekhi Hudgens. Shout out to the homie. He is making noise for the Green Wave. This young man stepped in, started the game before last for UAB, against UAB, at UAB, and he showed out. Young man had 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Back in his hometown, he was end up named the official starter. And last week against Memphis, that game there had a lot of implications because both of them was one-loss teams. Both of them was at the peak of being ranked, but it was like who's going to take over, who's going to take over the conference, and everything like that. And Makai led the way, got the team in tempo, got the first touchdown of the game, and him and his team made some big plays throughout the game, and they finished the game winning it, of course, 31-21. And he ended the game with, let me see, I'm sorry, 130 yards rushing. So big shout out to Mekhi Hudgens. You know what I mean? These Birmingham kids is some phenomenal athletes, and there's several more. So hey, everybody, keep it up. Keep it up. All right, CeCe, quick question. What are your mid-season thoughts? Like, and when I say that, I mean like, who is your most surprised team? Who's your biggest disappointment team? All that. What team is shocking you? Well, how are you liking the season so far? Because we are 1 week after the halfway point. So, what is your mid-season thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think overall, besides the committee that's determined to keep Alabama out of the top 10, that's what I'm disappointed in. It's the committee, it's AP poll, who is determined to keep us right outside the top 10. They keep shifting. I think the committee is having knee jerk reactions to certain games. So that's why I just keep changing. Like, oh, North Carolina played good this week and they beat Miami. They throw them up in the top six or top five or top eight. And then, like, the next week, something happened, right? Then they come back down or they struggle. So right now, I feel like I don't have any standout teams. Georgia had like a good standout game against Kentucky, and they benefited a cupcake game. So like, I don't, then they also just lost Brock Bowers, that number one tight end. So like, I'm not seeing any like real standout teams. I'm not really disappointed in anybody. I figure Alabama will struggle. And we, get back to building that standard. But I don't really, I don't, I mean, I think the disappointment for a lot of people probably is Colorado right now.
Now, you said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Um, you said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. You said that the rankings are keeping Alabama out of the top
Yeah.
10. Do you honestly No, I'm just asking an honest question. Do you honestly think that Alabama this particular season is a top 10 team? Because y'all
Absolutely.
just played an unranked Arkansas team
It's
and
a
barely won.
SEC. Think about it, it's like every game is won on the field. I told y'all this before, I'll say this again. People play Alabama as hard as they possibly can. They throw the kitchen sink at us. So they're gonna try everything, do everything. And like as we're still gelling as a team, but I definitely think they're definitely a top 10 team. I mean, technically, right now they're 11, so that's only putting us one. They will only technically put us up one more spot. So you tell me that we don't
And
deserve
they've
to
been
move up
11 and
one
6.
inch? We're already number 11, so it's not like I'm asking to go from 25 to 10.
No, you
So
don't.
so I'm not asking to move up a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Because for example, after that loss y'all had, well, after that game y'all just had with Arkansas, you're telling me USC dropped from 8 all the way to 18, and they lost to a top tier team. You know what I mean? They lost to a top tier team. So you're trying to tell me
But no
that,
one thinks Notre Dame is a top tier team. That's the
but
thing.
they are.
To who?
They are. Notre Dame can beat. Now I ain't gonna say easily, but Notre Dame can beat more than half of the teams that's in front of them. They can beat the Ole Miss. They can be the Utah. They can be the North Carolina. They
So
can
the
be the
thing about it is
Oregon.
that the rankings are going to fix themselves eventually
Yeah,
throughout the year. These teams end up playing each other, bouncing each other out. Same thing we just seen with the Oregon Washington game. A lot of these things, these matchups are gonna kind of it'll solve itself eventually. That's why I said I think the committee just keep having all these random knee jerk reactions, and that's what happens. Like you had this big you push them, you boast them all the way up, and they come back, they lose next week, and then you got to drop them all the way down. Stop having knee jerk reactions to every game. Like if they were just if you just thought they were number 19 and they played a good any given game Saturday and they beat this team and now you want to put them up to six, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you have it wrong last week when you had them at 18, or do you have it wrong now when they six? Like, that's a big leap. And so, even if you do beat a top
yeah.
five
That
team,
to me, that's a very big leap.
and so that's basically what they've been doing. They've been doing that for the last couple of weeks. But that's why I was like, with rankings and everything, that's why it's really hard to say, like, okay, we have standout teams because the AP and the polls are doing such a poor job at ranking right now. I don't know. They
You're
confused. Like,
breaking
we're
up,
confused.
CC.
Can you hear me now?
You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Mm. Little technical
Hello?
difficulties. You there, C?
Yes. Can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Hello?
Mm.
Hello?
You there? All right, there
Yes.
you go. I hear.
Maybe
See,
you
I
were
was
just
just
yucking
gonna
up.
keep. Probably was me. We apologize. It probably
but,
was me.
well,
Spectrum. Spectrum, you're not a sponsor. You're horrible.
but yeah, like I was saying that,
You're
like I
horrible.
think all
Okay, so CC, you there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, that was your mid-season thoughts. That was our mid-season thoughts. All right. Last week, big games. You know, your picking skills after a few last week games to me is a
Mm.
little suspect because
I mean,
there's
I
a
didn't
couple
really.
games we disagreed on, and it looked like I won them. And we're going to start with that Oregon Washington game because, like I said, there's something about Bo Nix that doesn't sit too well with me. So him being the Heisman this year, I don't see it.
I
But
don't know. You might that might have took him out the Heisman.
yeah, especially looking at the quarterback he played against, because Washington's quarterback to me is my front runner for the Heisman. And this young man here, like he threw 4 touchdowns. He only had he had 300 yards passing, and he found a way to win the game. So it's like overall, you know what I mean? I really believe Washington is going to win that Pac 12, but let alone them going to win it, I think he gave himself a boost in solidifying his Heisman status.
I mean, he still got a couple weeks to go. You know what I'm saying? He is leading right now, and Heisman watch. He kind of switched places with Caleb after last week, so now he's number
Oh,
one.
he definitely switched places with Caleb because, like you said, who respects Notre Dame? Well, Caleb Williams got to respect Notre Dame.
Yeah, because I don't, but and I will never. But I want Bo Nix. They still played a good game, right? That game was a 3 point difference. He didn't miss the field goal. The kicker did. So I won't just say like Bo Nix was just terrible, right? They played a very close 36-33 is a very close game. Now USC absolutely lost to Notre Dame.
Yes,
Absolutely. Um,
yes,
yeah, that was not like a nail biter. That it was a wrap. So
right.
absolutely. Um, and then the rest of the games are kind of like cakewalks. And then Alabama Arkansas was a big matchup because of the SEC matchup, so that was a big matchup for SEC. And then you had Colorado play Stanford when they went down. So I think last week was like half and half. You only had so many decent matchups, but the Oregon Washington was the biggest one. Because even with Oregon losing to Washington, the way that they lost to Washington, you just can't really just count Oregon out. Like you.
I think Oregon going. I really believe though Oregon's not going to beat USC.
No, we got to see.
I don't see that. I don't see that. I'm sorry. I do not
After
see that.
USC lost to Notre Dame, they may be a little bit nervous. So they're gonna have to show
Hey,
me something this week.
and then you know what the upset to me was last week? Louisville losing the Pitt.
Mm.
Cause I just knew, Louisville was ranked 14 going into this week. I felt Pitt was going to win. I shout out to Pittsburgh, the hometown. Some told me they was going to win, and that's exactly what they did. And I'm just shocked. I'm not really shocked, but there again, any given Saturday, anybody can lose. But shout out to Pitt, man. They upset it. They upset them. Now this week though, there's some really good games.
Yeah.
There's more good games this week than last week. And both of our teams play some pretty good teams. So I'm going to start with this game since it's a little more precious to you. And then I see them Vols, go Vols. I see them Vols coming in the, what is it, Brian Denny Stadium. I see them coming
You
away
know
with
the
a
name.
W.
You know the name. Don't like you know the name.
You
You
know,
know it.
I think
Hey,
that's the name of the stadium. I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
is.
I haven't been.
Yeah,
I
you ain't
haven't
gotta
been.
go to know it. I've
Nah.
been. So let me tell you, it's Bryant Denny. Yeah, and we we about to, come back with that dub. So like I'm not worried about the volunteers. This be the biggest game of they week, of they season is coming to see us or us going like we prepare for this game like we prepare for any other game. This is Saturday for us. This is something to Tennessee, but this is Saturday to us. We just gonna go in and handle business. Take what the defense give us, do what we can, play our game. Our defense is gonna play a little bit better, and that's it.
Hey, and see, that's the thing. Tennessee has some talented wide receivers. One of them boys is Squirrel White, you know what I mean, from Clay Chowfield. But, Tennessee has some very skilled wide receivers, and they have a quarterback that know what he's doing. You know what I mean? So
The same quarterback that's
I'm
thrown four
really
interceptions.
say that again.
He done thrown four interceptions.
Every quarterback has a game like that.
I just saying.
I'm just saying, every quarterback has a game like that. You know what I mean? And nobody perfect, but I definitely, they're giving Tennessee 9.5 points. So I don't bet against Alabama. That's a no, and I don't bet with Alabama. But this week here, I tell y'all, take the points, go with Tennessee, because if Bama win, they're not winning by 9 points. That's just not
When
happening.
Bama wins, be
If
clear.
Bama win. But like I said, I don't see y'all winning. I see one of them Tennessee wide receivers catching a nice pass, running to the end zone, and put up the middle finger to the to the to
What's the
the to
crazy
the
part
country.
is that Alabama got more yards than Tennessee. Our offense is playing better than their offense, so that's the wild thing for me. Like, that's wild to
Yeah,
me,
because y'all offense is suspect.
and we still playing better than them.
Okay. Well, of
So,
course you got Alabama. I got Tennessee, and,
period.
and we will leave it at that. Okay, go Vols. Go Vols. Now the next game is the big noon game. My beloved
At
Ohio State
11.
Bucks. We play against a real good, to me, a top 5 team in Penn State. You know, and I think this game here It's gonna it's not gonna define our season, but it's gonna let people know that we are better than what they think we is. And I think that we're gonna win this game on all three phases. And I see us winning this game by two scores. I'm just gonna be honest.
I got y'all losing to Penn State, of course. Um, yeah, I definitely got y'all losing to Penn State. Um, yeah, got y'all losing. I
Shame on
don't
you.
know. Sure, maybe a touchdown, but yeah, I definitely got Penn State this week. I took Penn State. I'm gonna take Penn State. I like that uniform
I
better.
can't I can't believe you. Well, actually, I can believe you. This is what you do. You go against the grain and you don't recognize the full potential of the O. You know what I mean? But it's okay. It's okay. I will let you have that one. But I really believe. Now don't get me wrong. Like I said, Penn State to me is a top 5 team. They're actually one of the better teams in the NCAA. So that just shows y'all how strong our schedule really is. And then that just shows y'all how strong the Big Ten is. But I do see Ohio State coming away with a dub on this game. Now, this is a neutral game for both of us. So maybe this would be, a little more friendly. But we got Florida State. I'm sorry. We got number 4 Florida State playing 5-1 Duke, which is currently ranked 16. And this is a big ACC matchup. How do you see this game playing out?
I like the underdog.
And
I want
in
I want
Florida
Duke to
State's
win.
14 points too in Tallahassee.
I think Florida State gonna win, but I got if I had to say who's gonna win, I think Florida State's gonna win this game. But I think it might be closer than 14 though. It might get Duke might have a little momentum, but I do think Florida State wins.
Well, I think this is going to be another test for Florida State because Duke has been, they're a basketball school, but they've been riding high, having a pretty good football season. I believe that they're going to go to Tallahassee and they're going to give Florida State a better game than a lot of teams, but I do still see Florida State winning. But I think this is one of those games where Florida State cannot take Duke lightly, and Florida
Yeah,
State has to come correct because if they have any hiccups, one turnover or whatever one costly penalty can change the outcome of a game. So I do believe Florida State's going to have to be on their P's and Q's because this could be one of those bait trap games. One of those
yeah,
bait trap games.
like
Now,
Purdue, like y'all used to have trap games for Purdue.
yeah, because uh, every one of our head coaches, the last 5 head coaches, all have lost to Purdue in Purdue. So that was one game I knew I was going to stay away from. Ain't no betting, but I don't bet with Ohio State anyway. But yeah, they definitely could have burnt us, but nope. Ryan Day sucked it up, and he came through. Now the last game we're gonna chop it up about is another West Coast game. You got number 14 Utah coming to number 18 USC, and both of them are sitting at 6-1 and 5-1. Utah's 5-1,
Mhm.
USC 6-1. Um, how do you see Utah bouncing back from from that loss from Notre Dame, and how do you see the former Heisman Trophy winner playing against Utah?
So I think this is gonna be a good matchup, probably better than people think it will be. I think USC had some questions on defense, right? So we
Right,
saw that with the second half of
just
the
like
Colorado
Colorado.
game. Yeah, we saw that, in the Notre Dame game, Notre Dame lost. So, they had some questions on defense. Do those questions get answered by Saturday? Probably not.
No.
Um, but I do think they kind of rely on their offense, and their offense kind of keeps them going. And I think that will help them to win this game. Well, don't slouch on Utah because Utah is not to be taken lightly. You know.
No, and Utah has all well, I know for the last 2 years for a fact, they have been one of those teams where, you know, they will win the games that they're supposed to lose. They will win that. Games they're supposed to lose, they will win. So just like Florida State has to come with their A game, I darn sure think USC has to come with their A game.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
USC is only a 6.5 point favorite. They don't even get the whole touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna have to, really come out and play. They lost. Utah lost to Oregon State, where their offense was very stagnant, um, and they don't score a lot, right? So
Right.
it puts more pressure on their defense to get stopped. So I think that'll be the only thing that kind of mess you to it's really straining on your defense to keep getting stops when you're not scoring in return.
You right. Because they beat California 34-14. They lost to Oregon State 21-7. They beat UCLA 14-7. They beat Weber 31-7. They beat Baylor 20-13. And they beat Florida 24-11. So they haven't went over 40 points all season. Actually, they even haven't even cracked 35 points all season.
Yeah. So
And
I, if you consider that, they're gonna have to score points, or really rely on their defense to get a whole lot of stops against USC, who's coming off a game where they struggle against Notre Dame, and they're gonna have all type of motivation.
yeah. Hey, Caleb Williams got more touchdowns than by himself than their whole team put together. And that's receiving and rushing. Dang.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Utah, y'all gonna have to rely on that defense. And y'all are gonna have to put a few points on the board. Y'all definitely gonna have to
that's
put a few points
all
on the board.
as
I'm telling you. And then y'all gonna be in California, 7 o'clock game. Ooh, yeah, man. I think y'all gonna have to come with it. But I am going to take the underdog, Utah. I'm going to take them. I'm gonna roll with the underdog. You know, like you said, you like underdogs, me too. So I'm going to go ahead and take Utah. Who you got this game?
I got USC. I ain't
I,
crazy.
I, I believe you. All right, y'all. It's about that time of the show. We're going to start something new, and it's called the question of the day. So me and CeCe are going to ask y'all, the fans. So, please comment so we can go over your comments. And if you're live now, let us know. Who do you think is the better college quarterback? Do you have Virginia Tech's Michael Vick, or do you have Texas Vince Young? And to me, honestly, we already know who is the better pro quarterback. That's no shadow of a doubt. And I will not take away Vince Young's accolades because he did beat a awesome USC team. He did win the Heisman. He did win a national championship. But we're talking about Michael Vick, the most electrifying quarterback to put the jersey on. And then this is at Virginia Tech, the most incredible season, hands down, that I've seen from a quarterback. I got to go with the man, Mike Vick. Who y'all
Man,
got?
that man ain't even got no ring. So I'm going with Vince Young, VY. I think I've been an Alabama fan so long, but I will say when VY was at Texas, I was like, I wanted him to win because Vince Young was just so cold and so great and so wonderful. Then he came to Tennessee, and so I got to rock with Vince Young. He was in Nashville, Titans. They ain't doing right,
Yeah, he
but
was.
But yeah, I definitely think I take Vince Young over Michael Vick college days. Yes, I'm gonna rock with
Okay.
Vince Young for college. NFL probably not, but definitely college.
And see, and that's one debate. Well, that's one conversation of where, you know, we can really say they're not the same player. They're by far two different players, but both of them played that position very well. And I, like I said, I will give Vishon his flowers because he beat a USC team that was defending national champs. He beat a USC team that, arguably one of the best college football teams assembled ever. And he beat the one of the best college football coaches ever in Pete Carroll. But, you know what I mean? We're talking about Michael Vick. That number seven
Yeah,
in
I
that
think I got a
that
little nostalgia from.
jersey.
I think you got a little nostalgia from NFL Vic. Like you had to
No,
be
because
there.
I had
Vince
the
Young was
Virginia
that
Tech
guy.
jersey.
Vince
I,
Young was that guy. Though. Like he was that college guy. Like you only have so many college stories that are up there. You have the Vince Young story. You have the Tebow story. Like Vince Young's story is crazy. It's gonna forever be legendary. I'm always gonna. Yeah, it's definitely be why for me.
and I love the Vic Young story. And then like the whole last drive and him sticking the ball out,
Man,
winning the Heisman.
exactly. And getting the
I like it.
Heisman and it's all
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like the whole story. And
Ooh
then he
wee. I
proved,
can't wait till they end up on Unsolved, whatever the show is that be coming on Netflix, like the Florida Gators. I can't wait till they do the Texas one.
I don't think Texas gonna get, well, no, he did have Cedric Benson and all his stuff. I don't,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't know.
We need
I,
a 30 for 30. Let me call ESPN. We need something.
Texas. I
That
think that
yeah.
USC team should get one before because man, that USC team had a lot going on out there.
Man, they did. Now I want the scandals, baby. Drop the scandals.
Yep,
Baby.
because you got the Reggie Bush
You got
issue,
the Reggie
you
Bushes,
know,
you got the Pete Carroll, you got the
Lindell
Sandusky,
White.
you got the Sandusky scandal. We need all them.
Yeah, USC, man. Y'all block was hot out there. Y'all block is still hot, man. What?
Florida had them thugs, but
But you know who
USC had
was you
that
know who
money.
had Florida and USC beat, if you ask me though?
You better not say Alabama.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Now y'all players just wait till they go to the pros and be doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But the University of Miami, back in those days with
Oh
Michael
man.
Irvin and Uncle Luke and Jimmy Johnson as the head coach, like that old Miami squad, man, I seen so many little documentaries on them, man, and like Luke was taking care of the players and stuff. Like they had a lot going on. And then when you say South Beach, Miami, Florida,
Man.
I only can imagine, man. Like, wow. I fools with the youth, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
really fool with the youth. It's man, but that's what the reason why, especially with now they got the NIL. These players ain't hungry. These players ain't hope trying to do some England stuff because Maurice correct only signed some jerseys and that messed him up. You know what I mean? It was
Don't
the
take,
beginning
he
of
did
his
not take
spiral.
much. Like and what's crazy, like all these shows we will watch now, like to hear about the stories, it wouldn't even matter today. Like some of these so
Right.
called scandals, it wouldn't even be a scandal today.
Yeah, that is like the
It'll be
one of the I
Tuesday.
think it was Royale Pryor got a tattoo and got in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, really?
It'll be nothing today.
That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why they should be giving Reggie Bush his Heisman Trophy back. You
And
know,
he broke the rules then. He should have waited.
who should have waited?
I don't know. I do think he deserves his Heisman Trophy back. I will
Yeah,
say.
I'm about to say he deserves his Heisman Trophy back
I
because
feel like I rather you find a school. I see you finding the school and you know what I'm saying, doing something with the school. Don't take his personal accolade away. Like he earned that Heisman. Like that money that he got didn't make him a better running back. Like,
Right. And then that's the most prestige award that
yeah,
you
like
can
he
give.
deserves that Heisman. That's
Yeah.
he won that. Like hands down, I would say like get him in. And I just don't know when people try to put it into a perspective like, oh, y'all didn't take Johnny Manziel and he did
I
all
was
this
just about to
stuff.
say that though. I was just about to say
No,
that.
get
Like,
him in
if
his
y'all gonna
Heisman
take
because he
his, y'all need
deserves
to
it.
take Johnny Manziel's too.
It's,
Like, and y'all should have been taking Johnny Manziel at the same time. Well, right after. Like, come
that's
on.
not how things get accomplished, right? Like give Reggie Bush his Heisman back because he deserved his Heisman. Like he earned that. Like I don't think that taking bribes or whatever you want to call it, whatever happens, I don't think the penalty should be taking back his Heisman. That
No.
they took back their championship. You know what I'm saying? That was enough. Don't take it back his Heisman because y'all didn't find out soon enough. You should have found out before the Heisman vote. So if you waited till after, at that point, you just gotta live with the results.
I'm telling you, you gotta live with the results. And so I'm not gonna tell you good luck. I'm not gonna do that. Hey,
Mm.
go Vols, go Bucks. Colorado, please bounce back. That's all I can really tell you.
Yeah, let's go Penn
Now,
State. Let's do this. The little Lions. Ain't that the Lions? Yeah, let's do it.
so let me ask you this question before we get out of here. You know I gotta do it. You know I gotta do it. So you bragging on y'all little Monday night football win?
Ooh, hey,
That's
let's
horrible.
go
That is
Cowboys.
horrible.
Hey, I
That
ain't
is
bragging. We
horrible.
won. You got a win is a win, right? Ain't that what you told me?
And I'm mad Philly lost. I'm so mad Philly lost because I need Philly to stay as far as it y'all as possible.
we walking that ass down.
I'm
Don't
telling you.
worry about.
But y'all haven't played Philly yet, though, have y'all?
And we will.
So that's
We
two
play.
losses coming already. Two losses.
I don't care who tell it.
I'm gonna tell it, especially when it comes to them cowgirls.
Mm-hmm.
But on behalf of, hey, first, everybody, go subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, subscribe, all that. YPE, Young Play Entertainment, 5K TV Sports. Understand? YPE, YouTube, Facebook, didn't do the same thing for 5K TV. On top of that, make sure y'all check out CeCe when.
Wednesday, I was gonna say Tuesday, Wednesday, Sports Talk TC, live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. You can find me.
Hey, I'm telling you, you can find her. Me, you can catch me tomorrow, same time, 7:30. I got the Battle Royale Sports Live High School Edition. We're going, hey, I got some guests. I got state championship player. I got, you know, I got five touchdown last Friday. Prime time player. Look, man, I got some guests for y'all. You know what I mean? We're gonna go throwback. We're gonna go current, but high school gonna be jumping tomorrow. So 7:30. Check me out. Battle Royale. And hey, good night. Have a good one. Enjoy your college Saturday. Go Bucks.
Peace out, Roll Tide.
No roll tide. Gotta get it. Peace, y'all.